Hi everyone and welcome to this special bonus midweek video. I wasn't actually planning on filming this week, but I was thinking about these little paints that I have here, and I've had them for a few months now because they were a birthday present from Dominic, and I really want to use them and I can't use them until I've swatched them, because I did promise you way back when I shared them in an art haul that I would be swatching them for you, and since then I have been asked about them. So it's a similar kind of situation to that lovely Schminker palette that I swatched in my vlog the other day. I've been meaning to film and they've just kind of been put aside while I've been filming other things, but I needed to get around to it. I really want to use them. I'm excited to see what they look like when they're swatched out. I can't believe I've actually had the willpower to wait until filming this video before using them, but that's what I promised I would do, so I wanted to stick to it. So basically these are from Red Clover Meadow. She is a handmade watercolour seller on Etsy. I think she's based in Bulgaria, and you could put together your own little palette. So they came in this tin, and I chose 12 colours from her list of, I think it was something like 40 different colours. She also sells ready-made sets as well, but I kind of like the idea of just being able to choose my own colours. So I'm going to show you each colour. We're going to just swatch them out and have a look and see what they look like. I've been asked about this ever since I featured it in an art haul. So for those of you who are waiting, I'm sorry you had to wait so long to see it swatched out, but it'll be interesting to see how these look. So I think that's all I need to tell you about those, apart from the fact they came with this little piece of paper. This is like watercolour paper in there. So before we unwrap these, I'll just show you a close-up of the gorgeous packaging. So they have the name written on the side. It says handmade watercolours on that side, and they actually have a swatch of the paint over the Red Clover Meadow logo there. So I'm going to speed up this footage of me unwrapping these because I have no doubt that it will take quite some time. And I'll be back in a moment. So this is how they look now they're all unwrapped. You'll see the consistency varies a little bit. Some of them look very shiny and some of them look more powdery, like this one. This is the Lilac Violet, that looks more powdery, as does the Ultramarine. And this one here is slightly cracked, but all of those differences, that just indicates a handmade paint, and it shouldn't affect the quality of them when you're using them. Handmade watercolours often need a couple of minutes to reactivate. I should just mention before I start that I put a little sticky backed magnet on each of these pans so it holds them more securely in this tin. You can get them on sheets, tiny little magnets, and they're self-adhesive. These ones came from the Magnet Shop, which is here in the UK, and I got them, I think, from their shop on Etsy. But yeah, that just holds them in. This is kind of what I do if I'm using this type of tin. So let's start with the Teal Blue and just see how this looks, because these are re-wet now. So these should be really nice, very natural colours, quite muted, which I love. That's a gorgeous colour. I always love teal. They're really transparent, they're lovely. I guess what I should also do is add a little bit to this swatch card that I'll keep in the palette. So I'm just going to do it like this. It's just to give me an idea of how they look. So the next one is, I think you say Nicosia Green. That's a lovely natural colour as well. So I think these are going to be great as a base to work on for mixed media pieces, and kind of layering on top with coloured pencil and neo-colour crayons, or neo-colour pastels. I don't know whether you call them crayons or pastels, but you know what I mean. I really like this transparent quality. You often find this with handmade watercolours. They seem, is it a bit less like saturated than the bigger brands? I'm going to put that up there. This one's called France Green Earth. Oh, this is a bit of a stronger colour. They're so subtle and beautiful. They feel really nice to work with, actually. They're re-wetting nicely. Oh, you know what I forgot to do with the other one? I forgot to put the other green on my little chart here. So let's just do this one first. And I'll go back to Nicosia Green. It's a very pretty colour. So the fourth one is Green Earth. Oh, is that on camera? Not really, is it? Let's bring it over here. Where shall I put it? Here. Maybe I'll put it here. Oh, this is a really lovely mossy, dark, moody green. Very nice. I like how they're all quite different, because you're never quite sure when you order online how different or similar. I've ordered colours before where I've thought that they're going to be quite different and they've been very similar. But these ones really quite different, and they make a really nice palette, the four of them together. I'm just going to bring that up close so you can have a look. I also forgot to do this again. I don't normally do my swatch card at the same time. Let's do my other swatches. Oh, what a pretty colour. So this is called Lilac Violet. And it is beautiful. And it's not too much because there's something that's still quite muted about it. All of these feel like very natural, earthy, muted colours, which was what attracted me to her paints, actually. Dominic and I did a really long walk yesterday. We took the day off and we went, I think it was in total about 5.5 miles, something like that. Which may not be that far to some of you if you're big walkers, but we were out for hours. We took our lunch with us. We put our lunch in our backpacks and we had a flask of tea. But I do actually feel quite tired today because we were out for hours and I was filming as well. So you should see that in an upcoming video, this outing. In fact, I filmed a couple of outings recently. Yeah, so we have videos in progress at the moment of different outings and so on. But I hope I'm going to make into some nice art videos. So we'll look at the landscape and you'll get to see where we walked, was the other one was a really massive walk. I think that one was more like 8 miles. That was the other week. It was down by the south coast. Really beautiful scenery. So my idea for these videos is that we go on the walk and you come with us, so you get to see the beautiful landscape as well, get to see our little adventure, and then I come back into the studio and I choose a colour palette based upon the landscape, based upon what I've seen, and then create a piece of artwork of that landscape. So I want to do this for both of the videos I filmed. So they're going to be slightly more in-depth videos. They're going to take longer to film. You can expect to see those, I hope, within the next maybe couple of weeks or so. Certainly I hope to get one of them up within the next couple of weeks, but I think that should be quite interesting. I thought it would be something slightly different to do, because I'm quite keen to, even though I do a lot of swatching and art hauls and stuff and sharing my supplies on this channel, I actually do want you to see more of my process as well and actual artwork because I am using all of these lovely art supplies obviously in my work every day, and you don't necessarily get to see everything I'm creating. You get to see, like, I guess, like a snapshot of it on YouTube. Oh gosh, this is a gorgeous colour as well. This is violet brown. It reminds me a bit of Caput Mortem Violet, which I really love. Let's just see if we can wash that out a little bit to see how it looks when it's a little bit lighter. It really does look like Caput Mortem Violet. That's so nice. So this one is called Hematite Spinel, and it is an incredible colour. I'm so glad I went for these two darker colours here. That is an incredible colour. I'm going to bring them up closer so you can have a look. Obviously they're still wet, but I don't know whether you can tell. This one has like a lovely deep red violet-y kind of tone to it. Goes really well with the violet brown. They're gorgeous dark colours. The ultramarine is so bright and vibrant too, whereas the others are much more natural and actually quite transparent compared to the ones we've just swatched. But yeah, it's looking beautiful so far. Okay, the next one we are doing is Yellow Earth. I already feel like this one is not going to be quite as strong. That's a really pretty natural yellow. So this one's Warm Yellow Earth. It's very much more orange. Oh yeah, that's really quite different, isn't it? Oh, it's a lovely autumnal colour. I'm really liking how this palette looks actually. Interesting also, which we won't do today, but to see how well they mix as well. And then we've got Venetian red. So even the red I went for is a very natural red. Oh, this reminds me of a Roman Schmall paint I have, which I think is called English Red Deep or something like that. I'm loving these 5 together as well. I often see little mini palettes within a palette. So the last one is Violet Light. Oh, this is also nice. Yeah, this is more transparent than the violet brown. It's kind of like if Hematite Spinel and Violet Brown had a baby, it would be this one. Gosh, that is a really pretty palette, isn't it? Not the most perfect swatches in the world, but they give us an idea of how it looks. And I think once again my swatches, I start off quite small and they've got bigger as I've gone along. And I just need to fill in, just put that up there. I'm just going to finish filling this in now. I kept getting too distracted and forgetting to do it, so I thought I'd just do the bottom row all in one go. Yeah, I'll feature this palette, I'm sure, in upcoming videos at some point in the future, where I'll use it, I think, with mixed media, and as I said earlier, I think I'll layer over the top and just really have fun with these gorgeous colours. I'm really pleased I put those dark ones in there because I think they're going to be quite versatile. Okay, let's put that aside to dry. And I'm going to let these dry and then I'm going to show you how they look when they're dry. So these are now dry and the little swatch card is as well. So I've just attached that in the lid here with double-sided tape, just so I have a reference when I open up the palette. I do this with all of my palettes just to see how the paints actually look. It's quite handy. And obviously in these palettes, you can't just lay it in because it will get stuck to the paint. So that's what I do with those. And I'm really pleased with how these colours look. I'm loving the greens. I think that's such a nice selection. The teal blue is gorgeous and it has a really interesting texture as well. The lilac violet and the ultramarine, two of the brighter colours in this palette. If you took those away, this would just be a really earthy palette, and I think adding those just kind of lifts it, which is really nice. I'm really intrigued by these colours. I think these are much more interesting than I thought they were going to be. I wanted to add some browns, but I think these are just a little bit different. The violet brown is gorgeous. It does remind me of Caput Mortem. The hematite spinel, I don't know whether this comes across on camera, but it has a slight aubergine colour to it, which makes it really interesting. And it's a really lovely deep dark colour, which I think this palette needed. The violet light, just so beautiful, kind of like a potter's pink almost, but obviously slightly more violet-y. And then you have these really lovely warm autumnal colours here. So yeah, I think I'm really pleased with this selection of 12. I did put a lot of thought into it before I ordered them, or rather Dominic ordered them for me because it was a birthday present. But yeah, we sat there and we were looking at all of the various colours, and I'm really pleased with these ones. I hope you all enjoyed that little bonus midweek swatching session. Go and check out Red Clover Meadow on Etsy. She has a lot of really nice ready-made palettes, and as I say, you can put together your own palettes too. There are so many different colours to choose from. A big thank you to Dominic for getting this for me for my birthday. And I think, actually, with that in mind, if you've made it to the end of this video, even though this isn't a long one, I usually do this for the long ones now, but let's just make it a thing. So if you've made it to the end of the video, write in the comments section below, Dominic, you're the best. I think that's pretty apt for this video, and then I'll know you made it to the end, and I'm sure Dominic will love seeing all of those in the comments, let's face it. Anyway, thank you all for watching everyone, and I'll see you all again soon for another video.